Here we have the current stock market update for AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated, stock ticker AMC. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts in the comment section below so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So here we have the hourly price chart. Every candle on this price chart represents a 1 hour trading period. And as we can see here, share prices are continuing to move in the downward direction. On a very short-term basis, I mean, you have to remember this is a 1 hour time frame, so it's not exactly short-term. We can start to see some, a bit of movement here to the top side. Near-term highs are coming in right around $4.80. Not entirely surprising to see that type of level work as resistance because previously, we were looking at very important support zones that came in at $4.79. Anytime you see a support level break to the downside, which is what happened with this $4.79 level, anytime you see a support zone like that that's broken to the downside, once it's retested from the bottom, it is expected to start to act as resistance. That's mostly due to the fact that a support zone breaks. Presumably, stop loss orders are tripped during that period of time. Those long positions now turn into short positions effectively. And then that area is now expected to start to work as resistance because you saw a previous influx of new quote unquote short positions in that area. I shouldn't really be using that language with a stock like this. But I'm not necessarily talking about short squeeze stocks here. I mean, in general, that's how that works. So what we're looking at here is sort of a test from the bottom of this $4.80 level. So it's not totally surprising here that we have started to see some resistance start to form in that area. So as we can see here, share prices are attempting to break back into the exponential moving average cluster, but we're having a bit of difficulty there in doing so. So this movement into 480 roughly failed right around this 50%. This 50 period. This is the hourly price chart. So this would be the 50-hour exponential moving average, this orange line here. And share prices did then start to reverse lower because this area did work as resistance. So what we're currently seeing here is a succession of lower lows mostly, but we're also seeing lower highs as well in the process. We can sort of point to this area here so we can visualize this a bit more clearly. So, you got this prior resistance zone, prior price high coming in right around 525. And then since then, share prices have, just continued to post lower highs in the process. This would be 495, and then here would be roughly just above 480. So, we can see this is sort of taking a stair step in the downward direction with lower highs also forming in the process. So, this is not a positive picture here, and it does suggest that, the next level to the downside, all that's really left here as far as support zones would be concerned near term would be this $4.41 area. Essentially, this area would mark the price low that was generated during the August 5 trading session. And as we can see here, the last time prices did test this area, we did see a very significant bounce on a short-term basis. This is ultimately what sent prices back into this 520 area. But, from the way this looks to me, what I'm starting to view here, anybody that's been watching these videos, I've talked about this 575 area many times. I was saying that this would be the near-term top. And as we can see here, share prices did, start to collapse at that point. So that was ultimately the correct projection. But in my view, what this is starting to look like to me is it looks as though this 520, 525 area is going to become the new $5.75 area. Roughly, previously we had this area, this 575 zone, which was essentially a triple top. We've got a test here, and then the third test here. This would have posted during the Monday, July 22nd trading session. So this is a critically important level now to the top side. You would really, if anybody that expects to see, any major movements to the top side is going to need to see 575 break first. That is a major line in the sand here. But the real concerning issue at this point, given the fact that we're posting lower highs and lower lows, the main risk at this point is that 520 or 525 becomes the new 575. So if we did start to say, for example, break above this exponential moving average cluster, sort of move into this region here, sort of zoom in here a bit. So if we were to say move into this region here and maybe start to generate some positive momentum, I do suspect that you would start to have an incredibly difficult time then breaking through this $5.20 zone. Previously, we did see a bit of a spike high into 525, but that would sort of be the zone that you would be looking at there, 520 to 525. So that is the risk at the moment. To the downside, 441 is ultimately the next target, and then from there, there is some prior support that came in right around $4.33. This would be the price low that would have generated during the June 25 trading session. So you've got a couple of layers here to the downside that could start to work as support, but there really isn't much here, which is suggesting higher share prices. I just finished the video on GameStop. I suggest that people take a look at that because, one of the questions that I've been asking in these videos would be which stock leads the other stock higher or lower. I understand some people don't like to hear about, the comparison between these two stocks. I understand not everybody that's in AMC is necessarily in GameStop. But for the most part, these stocks do tend to have a fairly high correlation with one another. The question that I was asking was, which stock is going to lead the pack here. Previously, we were seeing a rally in GameStop up to roughly 20, I believe it's 24.70 was the price level. So that was a fairly strong rally on a shorter term basis, but there was continued weakness in AMC. So the question that I was asking at that point is which one is correct? Are we going to start to see share prices move alongside GameStop, or are we going to start to move alongside AMC? And as things currently stand, unfortunately, it looks as though AMC is the leader of the pack here. This was the leading indicator because both of these stocks now are starting to trend lower. And I think this is probably going to start to get very disappointing for people relatively soon. If we do start to see, some diminishing gains at this point, and possibly post some new lows, I really do start to question how long these diamond hands are really going to maintain themselves. So currently, as we can see here, the overall trend momentum here does remain in the downside direction. We really haven't been able to recover any of this positive momentum that was being generated previously. There was some evidence that positive trend momentum was starting to build. However, this broke to the downside, and we've really seen sluggish activity in the RSI since then. We haven't even overcome the 50% mark here in that reading. So overall, there really isn't much in this chart, which does suggest that upside is imminent. So here's the current market update for AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated, stock ticker AMC. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market, lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.